So if you're in the South Sound in Washington right now, maybe you're talking to some friends, they're telling you the real estate market's crashing, you have no idea what's gonna happen in 2022, this update's gonna be for you. So last month I made 3 predictions and I'm gonna give you the results of those predictions. And little hot tip, I wasn't right on all 3, but I was super close and wasn't necessarily wrong, but I'll give you some context on it. So prediction number 1 was that activity would slow down, overall pendings and solds and those types of things when the housing market activity is going on, but there would be less multiple offer situations that would happen. And that definitely occurred. And that's been on a little bit of a downward trend here in Thurston County for a few months now. So prediction number 2, your new listings, your available, your pending, and your sold listings would all decrease. And that actually happened, and I'm gonna show you the numbers specifically. And prediction number 3, the average increase of the pricing going up, you know how every month I've been telling you it's been going up and up and up and up. I said that this last month that would slow down. And here's where I got it a little bit wrong. It slowed down, it actually went down a little bit. So overall it did drop, which could be a little bit of an anomaly, but we'll get into it here in a second. But before we get into the numbers, I really want to talk about this. You may have some people, like I said at the beginning, they're wondering what's going to happen to the prices next year. Everybody wants to know. Everybody wants that crystal ball, especially if you own a home or if you're looking to buy a home, you want to know, are they going to get more expensive? So let me share something with you. So this slide on the screen is the home price forecast for 2022. This comes from very reputable sources. They predict between 2.8 and 7.4 for a collective average of 5.1. So we're talking gain. So what this means is if you did own a home or you're looking to buy a home and it's $500,000, a 5.1 increase would mean that next year that $500,000 home would increase in value to 525 and some change. So when people are talking about a crash, this is what they predict. These are people that are a lot smarter than me. If you're seeing any articles on the news, what they're doing is they're screenshotting in a lot of articles and they're saying things like the foreclosure rate is going up. Well, what they're doing is they're comparing it to the recent history. They're not comparing it to the last normal non-coronavirus market, which was in 2019. And I heard this as well. These headlines do more to terrify than to clarify. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, if you're in Thurston County or maybe South Pierce, these are the numbers you're gonna wanna check out. And on the new listings, these are the ones that came on market, okay? And so the last 3 months rolling, as you can see by the chart, we're at 645, 639, not much of a change. And then now to this past month, boom, drop of 15% down to 546. Now this is normal. We're heading into the winter, totally expected this to happen. Completely normal, but compared to the previous year, that's what we want to look at. The previous year we had 492. So even this past month, we still had 11% more new listings coming on market. So that mirrors on the active listings. You can see that downward trend, right? That tumble of what's available out there and to buy. 14% drop over last month to 288, but still higher by 32% last year when there was 217. So here's where it gets a little interesting and it's a little different than what we see most years. The amount of people who bought homes went pending and the amount of people who closed on homes, those numbers did not drop very much. Normally by now, we're into November, we're seeing a little bit more of a drop off, and that did not happen so much this year as it does most years. So what you'll see on the pendings and the solds is compared to last month, they both only dropped 2%. But compared to last year, it's up 18 and 15%. So again, still more activity than last year, but we're not seeing it drop as much as normal. And that brings me to my next point. So I'm gonna make a prediction here, and this is totally geared in my favor, but who knows what will happen. I think we're gonna see a huge nosedive on those numbers. Not the price, definitely not the price. We're gonna see a huge nosedive on the amount of homes that come on market, end up getting sold, pending, and then end up getting sold. You've heard me say this time and time again, but as the market continues to stay the same with maybe the overall amount of people who want to buy houses, we are seeing the days on market stay the same. It's been the same number all year long, and it's going to stay the same. And the moment it changes, we're going to know the market's changing quite a bit. So it's 5 days, still 5 days. is the average time frame for your well-priced home, normal home, to actually go under contract. That's a median days on market. So people still ask how far over asking price is the average. And right now you can see it's went from 103.7 to 104.1, and it stalled right there. It's still 104.1. So what that means is that a home gets listed, it sells for on average 4.1% above the asking price. And if you want to compare that to last year it was 101.3. So all that means is that the offers this year on average are a little bit higher than the offers last year. Okay, let's get into that last item now. It's what everybody cares about who owns a home. It is, what is the average sales price? And I said that this would slow down, and it actually dropped a little bit. And it could just be that the previous month there was quite a big gain. So it went from 505 to 514. And again, this is just your average home in Thurston County. And this past year reported in at 504. And it could mean that out of those multiple offer situations, you're seeing, like I said, there's less of them, right? So maybe there's not those people who are going 30, 40, 50,000 above asking and skewing these numbers. So that's a good thing if you're a buyer. It's nothing to freak out about. If you're a seller, you're still getting above the asking price by 4.1%. Now, I'm pretty sure if you're a homeowner and you've owned your home for the last year, you're not mad about it gaining 17% of value from last year. So a $430,000 home is now $504,000, and I expect that number will change again next month. So if you know anybody or you yourself are thinking of buying, check out the slide on the screen now. This is why I think you should consider doing it sooner than later. The reason is, see all that red right there? That shows you what a lot of the experts think is going to happen to the interest rate. Okay, if you're borrowing money and the interest rate goes up, what's going to happen is your monthly payment's going to go up along with it. So you should be aware of that. And some people think it's just going to be a little. There's others that think it's going to be quite a bit more than what's shown on the screen. And if you're looking to sell a home, just know that now's the time when there's less people that are going to do it. Point blank, period, end of story. A lot of people really afraid for whatever reason to put their home on the market in the winter. Usually it's just not the right time. Kids are in school and there's just a lot of stuff going on, holidays, that sort of thing. But I need you to know that it's not going to prevent you from getting top dollar for your property. In fact, it could work out to your advantage. So definitely still consider it. So that's a wrap on this month's market update. Do me a favor, if you'd like some help, you want to text or you want to have a quick phone call, go to Aaron Thomas Home Team/schedule. Be more than happy to help you explore your options with what your home's worth, selling, or buying.